Hello, my dear students. Have a great day to all of you. Myself, Mrs. Kavita Kanade from LVH College, Panchoti, Nasik. This is our SPC lecture. We already started first chapter, that is secretary. In last chapters, we studied about the meaning of secretary, then the definition of secretary, then features of secretary, and in last lecture, we studied about the different types of secretaries. In this lecture, we will learn about the functions of a secretary, which are the functions has to be performed by the secretary in the organization. We will study it in details. Secretary Secretary is always acts for the employer. That means he perform all the clerical functions and office responsibilities of a company or department or individual. That means secretary is appointed by a person to doing his work on behalf of him. Oxford Dictionary defines secretary as a person whose work is to write for others, especially one who is employed to conduct correspondence, then keep records and to transact various other businesses for another person or for a society, corporation, or a public body. The secretary performs various tasks and is entrusted with office responsibilities of a company. The role and the functions of a secretary is extremely important in smooth functioning of a business. That's why we will study what is the functions of a secretary. First is correspondence. One of the important function of a secretary is maintaining correspondence. There is lots of correspondence in the organization. That's why it is the duty of the secretary to look after or to maintain all the records of this correspondence. Secretary look after the inward and outward mails, reply to inquiries from outsiders, government departments and other stakeholders. Secretary also look after the various records of the organization. A business organization or an individual has to correspond with various suppliers or the clients, bank, government department. This correspondence is an integral function of a secretary. The secretary look after all these duties related to the correspondence. Now, second function of secretary is office management. Office management. Secretary is responsible for the efficiency of the entire office routine. Secretary supervises and controls the staff and looks after the activities of the association. Secretary has to guide, supervise, and control the office staff for the smooth functioning of a company. The secretary also has to look after training, promotion, transfer of the office staff. That means all the duties related to the office administration is performed by the secretary. With increasing size of organization, a dedicated person is required for its smooth functioning. Secretary is responsible for the efficiency of the entire office routine. Secretary guides, supervises and controls the staff. Secretary is also responsible for training, promotion and transfer of the office staff. Then third function is reception function. Reception function, that means personal secretary is responsible for carrying out reception functions. This includes welcoming people who come to meet, attending phone calls, to solve the different queries or problems of the clients, then giving information, fixing appointment. These are the duties of the secretary which are related to the reception function. Then fourth, that is financial function. Secretary handles the banking transactions and uh, um, and maintains the proper books of accounts. Secretary has to keep a watch on receipts and payments. Secretary provides the necessary information to employer, management, bank, and government because he knows each and every transaction in the organization. That's why he has the clear idea about all the functioning, and that's why he always gives the he perform all the financial duties or functions related to the payment of taxes to government, or related to the bank. All these functions are performed by the secretary. Secretary undertakes banking and accounting related work. He or she keeps a track of receipts and payments and ensures timely payment to creditors. Then secretary further provides necessary information to employer, management, bank, and government. Then fifth function is arranging meetings. Secretary arrange meetings between the employer and any other parties. The secretary also arranges general meeting, then extraordinary general meeting, then annual general meeting. Such a type, there are lots of meetings of the company held in a year, which are related to the shareholders or creditors, debtors, then debenture holders. All these responsibilities taken by the secretary. That means overall from the from arrangement, or for keeping the record of these meetings, all these duties are performed by the secretary. Secretary is responsible for arranging meeting. These meetings can be with suppliers or stock shareholders, then bank or other parties. He also arranges general meetings of board of directors, then managing committee meetings as per the provisions. Secretary ensures all the legal compliance are followed with arranging meetings, including notice, agenda, and minutes of the meeting. That means all the small points of the meetings should be recorded by the secretary. Then sixth function is statutory function. That means related to the law. Statutory means related to law. All the functions related to the law are also fulfilled by the, are also performed by the secretary. The secretary has to compile with all the provisions of the act, then applicable to his organization. He should know. That's why the secretary should know about all the rules and regulations of the company, or the acts, different acts, amendment of different acts. He should know about it. That's why he also perform the statutory functions. Secretary also has to comply with the income tax act, then the stamp act, shop act, goods and service tax act, that means GST, etc. That means all this he should be he should have the knowledge about all these taxes to perform the statutory functions. Then seventh is assistance in formulating policy. The secretary has to collect statistical data and information. This information assists the management in formulating policies. That means when the policy is formed by the directors or board of directors, then higher authorities, the secretary give the proper information about all the things which are related to making for a policy. um, and with the help of this information, the different policies of the company can be formulated. That means in this also the secretary perform the important role. Then, eighth function is providing information. The secretary provides accurate information related to various aspects relating to the different departments in the organization. Then, with related to the employees, all the information he knows. Secretary provides relevant information to management, then banks, government departments, shareholders, and employees. Then, ninth function is Administrative function. The secretary performs administrative functions like assisting, assisting in appointing employees, then uh, then distribution of office work, then supervision, training, promotion, all the or the work related to the office. All this function is all these duties are performed by the secretary. Secretary maintains all statutory books under proper custody. Under proper custody. That means he also maintains all the books related to this, and he also perform all the administrative duties. There are lots of administrative functions performed in the company, and with the help of secretary, all these functions makes easier. Secretary assists in carrying out such functions. Besides, secretary also maintains all statutory books under proper custody. These nine are the important functions of a secretary, which are performed by the secretary in his routine routine office work, or these are the official responsibilities of the secretary. Then we will learn about the qualities of a secretary. Different qualities of secretary. A secretary should possess certain qualities apart from academic qualifications. That means he should have the degree of CS, or at least a graduate, according to the requirement of the employer. But he should have the qualities of the secretary. That means accuracy. Accuracy is means correctness. The employer or management of an organization depends upon the secretary for a lot of important work. That's why a secretary must be accurate in his work, like drafting letters, recording minutes, maintaining records. That means accuracy is one of the quality of an ideal secretary. He should be perfect in all these things. Then second is adaptability. Adaptability, that means he should have the ability to adjust himself to the changing situation. Change is the law of nature. We always there are in business, always there is a risk because of the changing situations. Always there are changing situations, then ups and downs, profit or loss, or fashions are always changing. That's why the secretary should have the quality to adjust himself according to the changing situation. The situation changes due to the change in government policies, then management policies. Secretary must be able to adjust with his changing situation, and also encourages other to adjust to the situation. Then third is cooperativeness. A cooperativeness refers to the willingness of the um, uh, part on the secretary to assist other in achieving the objective of the organization. Secretary must be cooperative. He must help others and try to solve their problems. This will help in developing team spirit and sense of togetherness in the organization. Because if there is a objectives of organization, then it is a teamwork. Not a single worker or employer can achieve the target or objective. That's why if the secretary have this quality of cooperativeness, then or he bind all together, and because of that there is a smooth functioning. Then, fourth is courtesy. Courtesy means politeness and kindness. A secretary should be courteous while dealing with people. This approach creates a positive impression about the employer and the organization. At times, the entire tone of the meeting is set by the way and the secretary interacts with the visitor. That means there is lots of people who visit in the um, in the company, or there are creditors or suppliers, shareholders. With all these people, secretary always communicate, and if he uses rude language, then it hurts them. That's why if he uses the kind language, or he politely, his language is politely when giving the reply, then it creates the good image of the company. That's why he should have the courtesy. Then fifth is initiative. Initiative means a person's tendency to take efforts voluntary to accomplish a task. Secretary is one of the important employees of the organization. Hence, he is required to always lead from front. He has to take initiative to take quick and right decisions if the employers are not present. That's why the secretary should have the initiative approach. That means he is also always perform a role of leader. If he takes the right decision, or if he choose the right path, then automatically the company or the organization get the success. Then six, leadership. Leadership is an important quality of a secretary, as he is required to get the work done through others. He must be able to guide, advise, inspire, and motivate others to complete their work in a efficient manner. It will help in creating team spirit. If the leader is strong, only then the staff will be confident and motivated to achieve the organizational goal. That's why this is the important quality of the secretary, that is leadership. Then loyalty. Loyalty means faithfulness, because the secretary knows all, each and everything about the organization, about the employer. That's why he should have the quality of loyalty. That means secretarial work is confidential in nature. A secretary has knowledge of many confidential matters, things. He should not disclose these matters to anyone. He must be loyal and give top priority only to organizational goal. He is a secret keeper. Then eighth quality is orderliness. Orderliness means doing the work in a systematic manner. Secretary has a lot of work on in an organization. He will be able to complete his task efficiently and in time only if he works in a orderly manner. That's why this is also one of the good quality, that is orderliness. Then ninth is pleasing personality. Pleasing personality. A secretary should have a pleasing personality. It includes its way of talking, then mannerisms, then calmness in handling a situation, good temper, confident approach, and willingness to accept challenges. This is the pleasing personality. If he have the pleasant personality, then there is a impact of the organization. The impact of the organization becomes very good. That's why he should have all these qualities. Then 10th is knowledge seeker. The role of secretary is very dynamic. It is necessary that the secretary keeps upgrading to that means he should be always upgraded with the situation. He should always a knowledge seeker means always he find out the new things, or what is the new in the market. He should have the knowledge about the mails, how to reply the mails, how to collect the mails, or the different, he should know about the different things related to the acts. This is the way how he collect the knowledge. This is also the important quality of the secretary. Then punctuality is related to the time sense and refers to doing things at the appropriate time. That means uh, do secretary must do the things on a proper time. Secretary must complete the assigned work in a prescribed time. Any delay in completing the work creates a bad impression for the organization. That's why a secretary should be a punctual. Then, 12th is sound judgment. Secretary should have a good sense of judgment. He or she should be able to judge the situation, and according to that situation, he should have the quality to take the right decision or correct decisions. The secretary should also be able to judge the effectiveness and performance of his subordinates. Then 13, tactfulness. Tactfulness is the ability of a person to handle a situation in a right manner. Secretary should be able to handle people and situation in such a manner that one does not feel offended. Secretary must have this quality as he is required to communicate with the employees and outsiders on a regular basis. This quality will help secretary in acting and reacting in a wise and sensible way. That's why this is the also important quality of an secretary. All these 13 are the qualities of a secretary. I hope all are you understand it. Thank you for listening me carefully.